Oh, man. And I think we're back. Back. Apologies if you were in the first stream and it died or whatever, and you're like, what the fuck? I'm a little like, what the fuck, too. Look, that was just a random bullshit thing that happened. But I gotta say, it does feel a little weird. You know? Trying to get all set up, trying to get in the proper mindset to tackle these sure to be controversial hot button topics. And, starting off with a pretty frustrating, like, did Theory quit YouTube? Yeah, so look, let's start there. That's actually a good place to start. It's really, really crazy, guys. But yeah, Theory's done on YouTube. You should go check it out for yourself. He made a video about it, and it's really crazy. I'm really happy for him. It's an interesting opportunity, and yeah, he's not going to be on YouTube anymore. So rough. But it is what it is, you know what I mean? So we'll talk more about that later on. I think we'll still have a nerd theory tonight and probably just talk about, his new opportunity. And it's just kind of one of those things that goes to show, like, you never know. Like, maybe just posting some goofy stuff here and there all of a sudden can get you a dream job. It's really crazy. So, yeah, that's kind of nice. Now, look, a couple of things I got to get into today. Holy shit, why? Why is it like this? Why is the universe like this? Why is this happening? I don't really know, but let me explain a couple of things. First of all, I need to apologize because we didn't stream on Friday. Originally, I was not going to stream in the morning, but I was still going to do a Prime stream and I was still going to do a Diamond Lounge stream. That shit didn't happen, so I apologize about that. I had a migraine that I worked through in the morning, and then it got, like, so bad I had to, like, I don't know if you've ever had like a really, really bad migraine to the point where like you're throwing up and shit, but I had to like just go remove myself and just go lay down. And then I was just kind of like messed up the rest of the day. So I apologize. What we're going to do instead is this week we'll do the Diamond Lounge stream. I'm not going to do Saturday morning cartoons this week. I'll do that next week. That'll be really fun though. We'll have a good one. Just, I don't want to put too much into this week. So that's what's going on as far as, just kind of making up for what happened on Friday. And yeah, again, I apologize. Now, this is the other thing that's weird is over the weekend, at least until Saturday night, I was in the mindset and I was kind of in the feeling and the vibe of like, it seems like for 2 weeks straight, at least, almost every single stream has been filled with drama, negative stories, bad headlines, some dunking, some clowning, etc., etc. And I was honestly really looking forward to moving on from that, getting into some other stuff, talking about more hyped up stuff, which, by the way, there is going to be a big Spider-Man video, probably going to drop tomorrow, honestly. Big Spider-Man video because there's been some new updates about what's going on with Born Again. Pretty much confirmed that Kingpin is going to be the mayor of New York City, and they're going to do the Devil's Reign story in the MCU, which is fantastic, and I love that. So we're going to do a video breaking down those updates. It'll probably drop tomorrow. I've got a video coming out today about the Star Wars film drama, because that whole thing and Jeff Snyder talking about what's actually going on with Damon Lindelof, it literally required its own entire video. Apparently 3 Star Wars movies going to be announced at Celebration. It's mind-blowing. So look out for that later today. Maybe we'll talk about that on Nerd Theory after we talk about Theory's retirement as well. So look out for that. But yeah, like, guys, I was like over this shit, man. I was like, I don't want to talk about like this. I don't want to talk about that. You know what I want to talk about is the fucking Kingpin. And how cool that could be, and like all the fun nerdy shit, right? So that's kind of where my mindset was at. And Saturday, I'll just kind of take you guys through it. And we've got notes and things to break down and all sorts of bullshit. But let me just first like explain to you how it was for me. Saturday, I went to go see John Wick 4. Incredible. Fucking incredible, dude. Like, really, really good. Raises the bar in a lot of ways. Just even in the sense of action and cinematography. It reminded me of, like, there was this run where Guy Ritchie and this director of photography and this editor that he was working with were kind of reinventing the action genre in some ways. And it sort of saw this like hyper stylized, you know, really interesting cuts and ways to do action and stuff like that. This movie, I think, will change action movies. It was awesome, man. So I had a really good time. And then I get out and, you know, I tweet about John Wick. And then pretty much immediately I see the story about Jonathan Majors. And I think the thing that I want to say about the Jonathan Majors story just overall is that it sucks. Like, it just fucking sucks, dude. There's so many layers to it, and there's so many like little fucking caveat cushioning statements that, you know, one should make when talking about this sort of thing, because it is honestly a really triggering topic for a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. And like, outside of all of that, I just want to say, on the whole, it fucking sucks. It sucks. Nobody wanted this to happen. Nobody wants to talk about this. Well, I mean, I guess some maybe drama peddlers or whatever want to talk about this. But at the end of the day, it just fucking sucks, dude. So, like, it sort of low-key makes me just want to be like, this all fucking sucks. Get away from me. And I want to just, like, not talk about it. But I don't think that's fair either. I think that it's worth digging into and trying to think of, you know, what's going on and what does it mean for fans. So, ultimately, just a big fucking bummer, because you can't just move on and talk about the next thing. This is a massive story, and I think regardless of how you feel about it, you must admit it was a massive story. It absolutely took over social media Saturday night, all of Sunday, and going into today. So it's a really fucking unfortunate thing that happened, and we'll try to get into the minutia because it's still a developing story. Like, we still really don't know. There's a lot of sides being shared, a lot of perspectives, and I want to get into all of that. We'll dig into that, but before we get into that, I felt like maybe as a sort of cushion, and honestly, if this hadn't happened and if there weren't more, you know, updates about the Victoria Alonso situation, because I want to talk about that too, I would have probably spent the majority of today just clowning on Zachary Levi and talking about how fucking horrible Shazam did, because Shazam 2 is bombing in absolutely spectacular fashion. And it's actually something to behold. I don't even think it made $10 million this weekend. And it is horrible. And I think, you know, the thing that I was thinking about was, like, I was watching Zachary Levi even on Friday and stuff, like putting out all these statements, interviews being clipped, videos of him being clipped out. Some of them are actually edited and they're not actually, like, you know, context fully given. But at the end of the day, dude, it just looked fucking sad. Like, I didn't even necessarily want to comment on it because it feels just sad, and it literally feels like the dude's having a breakdown. So I don't know what's going on, but that is not a good look. And all these videos and everything, I mean, it's really, really bad. And the other thing that's really crazy is he even made comments about Kevin Feige. And I'm like, dude, this is one of those cases of, like, take the phone away from this motherfucker. Like, what is he doing? He's literally coming out and I think turning off so many DC fans, so many comic book fans. There's people that are like, dude, this is fucking sad. Like, just hold the L. And then on top of that, he's like, oh, by the way, Kevin Feige lied to me about Fandral. Dude, who gives a fuck about Fandral? What are you talking about? Keep your goddamn mouth shut. Like, Kevin Feige, you're trying to spin something to which you've been the victim of Kevin Feige as well as everybody in the world. The thing that's so fucking sad about it is the dude can't admit that his friend that he came out to make another stupid fucking video about to try to defend James Gunn. James Gunn is the reason, the majority reason as to why your movie fucking flopped into oblivion. So it's just so crazy to me. It feels like dissonance, elitism, being completely out of touch, all baked into one really sad fucking story. And if I were this dude, I would just shut up for like a while. Even Anson Mount, who I didn't know this until over the course of the weekend, but apparently Anson Mount has, like, publicly dunked on James Gunn really hard in the past, and, like, you know, hats off on that. I mean, that's just, in my book, that's fucking phenomenal. But he also dunked on Levi this weekend by just posting, retweeting some shit of Levi And he had the thing that Black Bolt does in Multiverse of Madness, basically just telling this dude to shut up. Amazing. Unbelievable. It's really fucking wild. It feels like we're maybe living in this mask off era. You know? And we've kind of been talking about this for a while, for the past several weeks on the streams. I don't know if this is good, dude. Like, Elon Musk seems to think that it's great that every person, even a person of somewhat status and authority, just kind of like gets into the fucking muck and mire and shit post and tries to dunk on people and like plays the social media game. There's like this belief that if you're I don't even know, like a social commentator, like on YouTube or whatever, like they want everybody to be that and just dunk and get shitty and all of that. And I just gotta say, I don't think that's the formula. I don't think that's what you do. But it is weird. It does seem like we are in that kind of an era. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think it's great? I mean, it's good entertainment. I just don't know that it is going to like establish confidence in these kind of things moving forward, right? Oh, why? Why? Yeah, I know. Yeah. Okay, so should we get into it? Should we talk about fucking Kevin Feige's bad week? Can somebody check on Kevin Feige, please? Like, seriously. Can somebody go check on this man? Within the course of a single week, maybe 8 days, depending on how you look at it, he has had to deal with Victoria Alonso being fired, threatening to fucking go crazy on the company, and now a settlement thing is in order. We're going to get into all the details on that. The singular individual that he built an entire phase around, that they took a massive bet on, this individual is embroiled in a massive drama, a huge zeitgeist moment of conflict, really. You know, it's not fucking good. It's not fucking good. On top of that, he's trying to tighten down on leaks and leakers. He's filming this top secret thing in Scotland, and these fucking Scottish people don't give a fuck, bro. These people in Scotland are like, oh yeah, we won't say it, but we're gonna fucking say it in the Post-Gazette. These people may or may not be holding sacred secrets of like the Loch Ness Monster and shit like that, but when it comes to Secret Invasion, Samuel L. Jackson and Marvel, fuck that, we're gonna post it and publish it everywhere. Like, this is a bad week, dude. Somebody check on this man. My God. His blood pressure probably through. He needs a blinker. He needs a couple blinkers, man. For real. Oh my God. When it rains, it pours, right? Don't be dunking on Scotland. I'm not dunking on Scotland. I would never dunk on the Scottish. Okay, so let's talk Victoria Alonso first, okay? So let me catch you up, right? On the last episode of Dragon Ball Z, you see what had happened was Victoria Alonso unceremoniously let go, pretty much fucking fired. I think it was last Friday, 2 Fridays ago. What is life? I don't even remember. It was at a one point in time, relatively in the past, close to now. Shut your mouth when you're talking to me. So that broke on Monday, and it was crazy. That is crazy, industry-shattering, shaking news, okay? And the updates that happened on, like, Thursday and Friday of last week were really bizarre. I'll show you one article about it right now, and we shall explain what I think is happening here. Again, this is not something you want to be having to deal with, right? If you're Kevin Feige. Okay. Check it out. Victoria Alonso's lawyer fires back at Marvel and Disney. Okay, so there were statements made. They went out in the trades, et cetera, coming from the lawyer. We'll just read the pertinent bits. The idea that Victoria was fired over a handful of press interviews relating to a passion project about human rights and democracy that was nominated for an Oscar, in which she got Disney's blessing to work on it, is absolutely ridiculous, says Glazer. Victoria, a gay Latina who had the courage to criticize Disney, was silenced. And then she was terminated, and she refused to do something she believed is reprehensible. So that's really the thing that many people are latching onto here. It says, then she was terminated when she refused to do something she believed was reprehensible. Disney and Marvel made a really poor decision that will have serious consequences. There is a lot more to this story, and Victoria will be telling it shortly in one form or another. In other words, pay me or I'm gonna spill all the fucking tea. Okay, so let's read what the statement back from Disney was, and then we'll talk about the latest updates because it's pretty crazy. Yeah, here we go. It's unfortunate that Victoria is sharing a narrative that leaves out several key factors concerning her departure, including an indisputable breach of contract and a direct violation of company policy. That's true, and we'll talk about that. We will continue to wish her the best for the future and thank her for her numerous contributions to the studio. Okay, so let me try to find the updates. Okay, so Puck has a pretty good article on this. I'm actually going to read it just from the Reddit post here to kind of explain to you guys what's going on. So let's just kind of explain what's going on. And this will become more clear when we read this. But she's essentially fired on Friday. And Monday it kind of comes out and a couple of different people paint it in, you know, a very studio positive light. She was really bad with the VFX stuff. You know, there's this lingering story about her and the Florida bill and all that sort of stuff, right? So then her lawyer, who's a really good Hollywood lawyer, kind of comes out with some ammunition. And now I will read to you from insiders what they say is going on. Patty Glazer is one of the town's best litigators, especially for fired entertainment figures taking on their power former employees. See Conan O'Brien versus NBC, Dan Aloni versus CAA. Yo, that Conan O'Brien shit is wild. I don't know how many of you guys were there for that. I was actually a massive fan of Conan when I was in high school. And I remember this happening with like Jay Leno coming back and booting Conan off of the Tonight Show after taking over. And yeah, he got fucking paid for that. I think it was like $25 million or something else. So yeah, he got paid for that. The other thing that's really funny about that was he came up with a really funny bit where essentially he found this clause. Because by the way, I don't know if you know this, but he went to Harvard. Okay, very smart guy, Conan. And I think he even studied some law. I don't know if that was his main focus or whatever, but he's a smart cookie. So he found this really interesting like thing in his contract where NBC would have to front the money for any bit that like he and his producers signed off on, as long as it was going to be funny. Okay. And so one of the things he did was sort of make fun of the sort of like meta humor. He kept making fun of the fact that they'd have to pay for whatever he came up with that was funny, and that's why it was funny. And oh man, he just kept like making them spend a shit ton of money. And there was this one thing where he had this like crazy cut of this one Stone song that its particular license cost like absurd amounts to play on TV. He had this unbelievably expensive car that they were destroying or something like that. Like, it was hilarious. It was really, really funny. Regardless. But Patty has some bad facts to overcome for new client Victoria Alonso in her public crusade for a payout from Disney. Because let's be clear, that's what this is. I agree. I mean, does anybody disagree with that shit, by the way? Does anybody disagree? Does anybody think like, no, there's fucking injustice and that's why she's doing it? No, she's trying to get paid, dude. Beyond Glazer dropping a headline generation bomb on Friday that a gay Latina was silenced for speaking out against her company handling of the Florida Don't Say Gay bill. This is simple. This is a simple money fight. Disney could have ended Alonso's employment as Marvel's president of physical post-production, VFX, and animation, and simply paid her out for many reasons. Her belittling behavior towards vendors, the relentless self-promotion, or the fact that the visual effect in Marvel production, her actual job, have been specifically and repeatedly called out as lacking by fans, the media, and the actual VFX professionals. Vulture's headline, honestly, I equate it to human greed. But instead, Disney chose to terminate Alonso without pay for what it said on Friday is an indisputable breach of contract, basically an invitation to fight in public. So here we are. That's where it's at. This is also what's really crazy is they didn't want to pay her a dime. And to me, that's really wild. Now, they're going to end up probably paying her. But like on Friday, essentially, guys, they got her on breach of contract and said like, nope, no pay, nothing, get the fuck out of here. And as they're suggesting in this article, it's like that's an invitation to play dirty in the streets. So here we are. At the risk of giving this dispute too much attention, after all, Alonso never had that much power at Disney despite her public profile and personal positioning, though she did lord over Marvel's VFX contractors. Here are the key elements in my view. It wasn't until mid-2021 when Alonso's employment agreement was last renegotiated that Disney found out that she was producing a side project, Argentina, 1985, for Amazon Studios. Do you guys know about this stuff? Do you guys understand about this stuff? Do you know about the Argentina thing? Disney's Alan Bergman and Marvel's Kevin Feige were super annoyed at yet another example of Alonso prioritizing her personal endeavors over the company and the bad precedents it would set for other Disney executives. I can't disagree with this. Can you imagine if Disney Studios president Sean Bailey decided to quietly produce the new Amazon pick Air with his buddies Matt Damon and Ben Affleck? Then when Disney found out about it, they downplayed it as a simple passion project. It's a non-starter. But not wanting to poke the hornet's nest and acknowledging Alonso's 17 years at Marvel's, Disney let her keep her name on the project while specifically inserting language in her deal that prohibited her from promoting Argentina 1985. So no, Alonso didn't get official permission in advance. She started the movie, then asked for permission, then got a reluctant okay with specific contractual limits. Then she ignored those limits and was admonished for ignoring them. She did the infamous IndieWire interview. She flew to the BAFTAs in London. Contracts are still contracts, right? And she signed hers. Glazer teased Friday that Alonso was asked by Disney to do something reprehensible, and she refused. That's why she was fired. Okay, that's intriguing. So what was this reprehensible ask? Team Alonso declined to tell me, no doubt wanting to use the public disclosure as a potential lawsuit for leverage. But until we know, speaking about the Florida and then Glad event seemed like a bit of misdirect. After all, the only person who would have been pissed about that, former CEO Bob Chapek, is no longer at the company. There's a grand tradition of Hollywood executives using their perch to build a personal brand. Everyone from Robert Evans at Paramount to Your Two, more recently, Bozoma St. John at Netflix, even Michael Eisner walked that line at Disney with the TV appearances and books. Alfonso fits this mold, but who knows how much tolerance Disney will have for this public fight. I'm told settlement negotiations are active, so maybe Alonso will get that go-away money after all. Okay, so what does this mean? What happened? What the butt? What the what? What the what is happening? Well, there's some interesting context, I think, given by Jeff Snyder in his the podcast that he did with Rocha last week. And one of the things they talk about there was the fact that the big three at Marvel, which I had just assumed was Nate Moore, but no, apparently it's Luis Esposito, Kevin Feige, and Victoria Alonso. Apparently they have been beefing pretty hard for some time, which is really crazy. So essentially, this is what happened, dude. It seems like Victoria Alonso is a grouchy, self-serving biatch. I'm just going to be honest. That's how it seems to me. And essentially, she started this other project. It's against her contract. She asks for an okay. She even gets sort of special permission written into her renegotiation. And she still said fuck it and didn't actually do it. And it seems like Disney just really doesn't like her. And if you recall, we had some stuff that we talked about last week where it's specifically reported in the trades that Kevin Feige did not interfere. It wasn't his decision to fire her, but he didn't interfere. And a lot of people have honed in on that fact because if you work with somebody for 17 years and you have this incredible bond, you're going to go to bat for them. It's rumored that Kevin Feige going to bat for James Gunn is a huge part of why he got brought back to Disney and ended up doing Guardians. It sort of reshaped his image, ultimately led to him becoming the president of DC. Kind of wild and ironic, but yeah, that's how that shit works. So he didn't go to bat for Victoria Alonso. So it kind of sounds like she was horrible. She was causing friction. She put out this statement about this reprehensible thing. Now, I do want to stop and just say, if there's something that's actually reprehensible and it gets reported, I will talk about it and I will give a fair shake to whatever that is. But here's the thing that's fucking stupid about this. How much do you personally want to bet that whatever this reprehensible thing is, there's a number. There's a price tag. And when that price tag is met, all of a sudden it's not that fucking reprehensible. Like all of a sudden it's not so bad that she needs to come out and actually take any kind of an L and report this thing. Like she's not going to lay on the tracks. She's not a journalist. She's not going to have that kind of fucking integrity. You know what I mean? This isn't that watershed moment. No. Like, this is business. This is just negotiations. The other thing that this is a whole bunch of fucking bullshit for Kevin Feige and for a bunch of us fans. Because this is a massive story, man. And it's something that just is so prevalent and spread around. Again, the horrible week that Kevin Feige is having, or that had last week. It's absolutely crazy. You know what I mean? So, that's the story. That's what I think. And I bet we'll get some updates on the story, and we'll follow the updates as they happen. But again, like, what a fucking L. What a stupid-ass thing to happen, okay? Okay, first story out the way. Now let's get into the juicy stuff. Let's get into the shit that, like, really sucks. Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors was arrested on Saturday for domestic abuse. Arrested for, I think it's even literally in the, like the actual documentation that he was arrested for strangulation. Now, here's the thing. What I just said is facts. That's not debatable. He was arrested for it. Okay. And in that sense, horrible. Like, it's a horrible story, okay? And we're going to get into, like, the minutia of what actually happened. Again, it's a developing story. But at the end of the day, dude, he got arrested in New York City for essentially beating and strangling a woman. And we live in such a crazy time that that first headline, that first thing that I said, he got arrested on Saturday, that might be as deep as some people go. And it is a huge L for everybody involved, kind of because of that fact. And yeah, I just don't think there's any way around that. Like, you can say, and here's the other thing, this dude might be completely innocent. And we're going to get into the reports. We're going to talk about, like, the timeline of everything. He might be completely innocent. And it would be really hard to try to figure out, you know, just how far the damage goes, how much his brand is tarnished because of this incident. And if he's completely innocent and this is literally just some, like, petty thing that a partner did, I mean, in my mind, there has to be damages. There has to be consequences for this. Like, that's fucking crazy. It's just bad. It's just bad. Okay? So let's go through the timeline. So this is how it happened. Saturday night, it broke that he was arrested. After that, of course, social media meltdowns. just look, it's a ridiculous, crazy headline. A lot of people chiming in. A lot of people. I mean, look, it's a really emotional thing. He wasn't arrested for jaywalking. This is something that a lot of people get really, really fired up about, myself included. I'm a really, how do I say this? I'm really not a fan of like if you're a dude and you put your hands on a lady. In my opinion, it's an automatic huge knock, and I just can't with that shit. Okay. So it was bad. There's a big social media outcry. It was a massive story, a nightmare for everybody involved. The other thing that happened, and I am going to talk about this, is that some other reports came out about Jonathan Majors. And two directors in particular from Hollywood, not necessarily nobody's, not necessarily the biggest profile to get an article written up in the trades about it. But some stuff came out about Majors. Okay, let me see if I can find that actually, so we can just get really specific about what that is. So we're going to go through the whole timeline. Okay. Also, too, crazy that this was reported in the Direct. Guys, the Direct is massive. I mean, it get literally like millions of views, millions of clicks. This is ridiculous. Okay. So let's kind of just get into it. The news of Jonathan Majors' arrest broke. Twitter users began making the perspective known on the Avengers 5 actor. Back in February, filmmaker A.B. Allen tweeted about a beloved actor who is actually vicious, cruel, and an abusive human being. There's a particular actor, relatively new on the scene, who Twitter has violently fallen head over heels for, who, in actuality, is a vicious, cruel, abusive human being, both professionally and in his personal life. And every new viral thirst tweet about him drives me insane. So, that happened. When pressed on why the user now will not share more, despite a public, large, seemingly seeing evidence of what was posted, A.B. Allen explained it would still expose people who have been hurt. The specifics of what I know, unfortunately, would still expose people who have been hurt and deserve to not become a part of some larger media inquiry if they do not want to. So I'm not going to get into the details, but now y'all know what his deal is. So, not a good look, dude. Not a good look. Society Theater co-founder and Broadway actor-director Tim Nicolai offered support on Twitter in posts that have since been made private, sharing that it's strangely a relief to know other humans were out there who understand. Nicolai continued, saying that many in Yale in the New York City communities, later specified to be the 2012 to 2017 graduates from New York U, Juilliard, and Yale, consider the actor a sociopath and abuser. I'm just going to say this about Jonathan Majors and be done with it. Folks at Yale and the broader New York City community have known about him for years. He's a sociopath and abuser. That is how virtually everyone speaks about him. It's a shame it took this long for him to be reported. Holy fucking shit, dude. Okay, so again, not a good look. Let's read through, and we'll continue to talk about it. Because, of course, like, look, I totally understand. Some of you guys, you're probably super triggered. You're like, dude, what the fuck? This is all just hearsay bullshit. I will grant you that. I will explain it. At the end of the day, there's a person that was arrested, and then the fucking shit came out the closet. That is what it is. Okay? And this is why I say the whole situation sucks. Because what am I supposed to do? Ignore this shit? Just go to bat for a guy I don't fucking know at all? No, man, we're going to get into the facts. We're going to talk about both sides, and we're going to try to see what it is. I'm already seeing a bunch of, why didn't you do anything, folks? People have tried. Ultimately, needed a victim to come forward. It's both simultaneously awful to know he is still doing this, and also a relief that he may never get to again. I mean, that's wild to say. You know what I mean? If that is coming from a place of complete fiction and fabrication, then that is a weird person that said that. Nikolai did not want to expose people who want to remain quiet. A bunch of us are close with people, and sometimes multiple people, he has directly harmed. I don't know if they will speak on it. It is completely their decision. Holy shit. Nikolai explained that if casting directors like you, that's the currency. But nobody would call his ex's girlfriend at the time directors, professors. They just don't do that. I think that was in reference to why he wasn't vetted properly. If this is a known thing, why wasn't it caught? That's the explanation. The actor went on to share that literally people, Jonathan Majors, did this too, are texting me right now. It's not, I heard. Strong. If we're going to give credit to as strong as a rebuke as Majors' lawyer put out yesterday, I think it's fair to give credit to the strength of those statements on social media. Again, not necessarily huge, high-profile people, but not nobody. People that would be in the scene. People that would know about Jonathan Majors. So let's talk about the lawyers. And let's talk about his statement on this, okay? Pretty strong coming in from his defense attorney, okay? And I just want to say that as I was looking into this, I had this thought Saturday night, and it's kind of a flawed thought, but I'll take you through the entire timeline of like what I was thinking and then what the statement was made from Majors and from his lawyer. Okay, and this isn't the exact statement actually, but that's fine. Here's the thing. As I was thinking about this, I was like, in my head, I was like, bro, there ain't no way you randomly get arrested for domestic abuse. And as I was thinking about it, I was like, dude, there's no scenario in which straight up nothing happened, which is true, by the way, because there was an altercation. But in my mind, I was like, so what are the chances that it's complete and total bullshit? Because again, obviously, this is a tough one. If there is a victim, fucking heart goes out to the victim. In this case, the victim might literally be the villain and might be damaging an innocent man. That is absolutely possible. So it's a really fucking weird place to be at, where it's like, oh, dude, my heart goes out to the victim, but also the victim might be the real evil, horrible person here. I don't know heads or tails of it. But I think the other part of this, and like, yeah, is it fucked up that we basically go to what does this mean for Marvel, et cetera, et cetera? Absolutely. But again, we don't even know if there are victims. What the fuck is going on? At the end of the day, I was thinking to myself, you know, this looks horrible from Disney's perspective. I think the only way that this dude stays as Kang the Conqueror is if they have a flawless case that shows it was 100 million, thousand, billion% not true. And there's irrefutable evidence of that, and it's on some bullshit. That is the only way that I think he moves forward at Marvel. And I pinned that at like a 15% chance, just based off of the notions and my understanding of police, these kind of cases, et cetera, et cetera. Okay? So here's what it says here. This is the statement from his defense attorney. Major's criminal defense attorney, Priya, I'm sorry, I'm horrible with fucking pronunciations. No disrespect, but I'm not going to go for that. Provided the following statements to IndieWire. Jonathan Majors is completely innocent and is provably the victim of an altercation with a woman he knows. We are quickly gathering and presenting evidence to the district attorney with the expectation that all charges will be dropped immediately. This evidence includes video footage from the vehicle where this episode took place, witness testimony from the driver and others who both saw and heard the episode, and most importantly, 2 written statements from the woman recanting these allegations. All the evidence proves that Mr. Majors is entirely innocent and did not assault her whatsoever. Unfortunately, this incident came about because this woman was having an emotional crisis for which she was taken to the hospital yesterday. The NYPD is required to make an arrest in these situations, and this is the only reason Mr. Majors was arrested. We expect these charges to be dropped soon. Some of you are like, that's that. Them's the breaks. She's horrible. That's that. I got to tell you, I'm not there. I'm not there. Respect. Respect if you're there. Respect. I'm not there. I want to know what happened. I don't want to know what the defense attorney is telling me what happened, who has every incentive in the world to spin this again in the 100% direction of his complete innocence, because let's be real, the shit depends upon it. Okay? So for me, I'm not saying I've got to see the video, but what I am saying is I want to see if the charges get immediately dropped. I want to see what this statement is. 2 statements of recanting? Look, it is absolutely possible that she was on one. She lost her shit because apparently the rumor is Majors may be involved with other women, etc., etc. All hearsay. Okay? Apparently that's maybe what happened. And she lost her shit. And it's possible, guys. It's absolutely possible that's what happened. And she freaked the fuck out. Maybe she assaulted him. It is being reported that Jonathan Majors was the person that called 911. And again, there are some people latching on to that as though that's fucking ironclad proof that this was not Majors at all. So, this is a very strong statement of defense from his attorney. I'm waiting to see what happens from here. And it seems like it's going in the direction of him being cleared. And it seems like he will probably remain. And probably they're going to try to clean it up as much as possible, okay? Now, here's the other thing that I want to say. And I want to bring this up because I think it's really speaks to the sort of, in my opinion, the fucking grossness of the entire situation. Now, it's really hard to have a nuanced conversation via Twitter, okay? I completely acknowledge that. A lot of you guys got hot with some of the things I said on Twitter. I get it. No worries. But I want to show you something. And I want to get into why this is such a gross story. Okay? This account, I'm not trying to pick on this person. If you're the person that runs this account, you might think I'm trying to pick on you. I'm not trying to pick on you. But it just happens to be the case that you were a Stan account, mostly for Majors. The name of this account up until Saturday was literally called Kang's Whore. I'm not kidding. The name of this account was called Kang's Whore. Okay? And now, here's what the account says. Hey, I'd just like to make it perfectly clear that I don't support what's happened with Majors whatsoever. The quote I made earlier was very badly worded and made it seem like I was doubling back, which is why I deleted it very quickly. My thoughts are still with the victim. I understand that the victim has apparently taken back her statement, but I'm aware how these situations can be brushed under the rug, and so I still will not be standing by him. I'd also like to take this opportunity to apologize for the tweets I made about Amber Heard back during the trial last year. Okay. They were insensitive, rude, and unnecessary, and I truly don't have that mindset about it anymore at all. Okay. Thank you to everyone who brought my actions to my attention and made me realize that I do need to be more mindful and respectful about these things. To anyone that it might have upset or caused any distress, from the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. You know, honestly, decent apology. Here's the thing, though. This is literally an account to cloud chase. The account is called Kang's Whore, and this is a person that asserts themselves in every pop culture zeitgeist, social media drama situation that there is, with honestly probably the take that they just think will go the easiest with the perceived audience. It's a whole bunch of bullshit. And the thing that sucks about a situation like this, with Jonathan, again, everybody brings their own personal baggage and their own perception into this story. At the end of the day, I think there will be people like this account that no matter what evidence is produced will be over Majors. This will be something that will linger and stink on his name for a long, long time. And again, it's like, for me, the frustration and the thing that's really crazy is like, well, does this motherfucker deserve that? Because if he doesn't, in the name of justice, she's got to pay charges, jail time, like, that kind of shit, right? But the whole situation is fucked because it might be the case that now she's just going to be paid. It's so bizarre. It's so bizarre. And so, look, we just tried, and I've done, I think, the best I can at trying to explain both sides where the actual narrative in this story is. Some of you guys are real fucking mad. Some of you guys get it. At the end of the day, this is why I tried to say, regardless of how this shakes out, it's a fucking L. It's an L for Jonathan Majors. And again, if he's completely innocent and this shit just happened, it's wild as fuck, dude, he deserves all the justice in the world. Johnny Depp 2.0, whatever you want to call it, horrible. But at the end of the day, it's an individual that was in a position to have something like this happen. It's so fucking horrible. The other thing, the real crazy thing here too is, again, this is not the den of domestic abuse. This is the den of nerds, okay? We talk about nerdy shit. And from the perspective of Marvel and from the perspective of Disney and the fans, here's a question. Why would you put so much, why would you put so much into one individual actor? Why would you hinge so much shit on one individual? Because we all had the same thought on Saturday. Marvel's fucked. Right? Everybody had that same thought where they're like, dude, they are fucked. This isn't just some guy. Okay? This is the guy that is not one, but all of the main villains for the next couple of years. This is a guy that the next 2, maybe 3 Avengers movies are being built around. This is a guy who in Loki season 2, you will see several different versions of him. If I'm just going to say it, bad fucking strategy. It doesn't matter who the individual is. To hinge so much, to put so much investment. Why would you hang your hat on any one individual? It's so goddamn silly. It's so goddamn silly. So, at the end of the day, and I know it is a sensitive issue. I know some of you guys are like super fired up about one aspect or the other. I try to look at these things with as much of an unbiased lens as is possible. And that's what it is, guys. That's where the story's at. We will wait. We will see. It is possible that that evidence exonerates him completely, charges immediately dropped, the recanting, all of it. We'll see. But I bring this up with this account because I think there's no getting away from this. This will never be like, oh shit, okay, so we're good. Even if they see the video, there will be people that will not believe this. There will be people that will look at Jonathan Majors differently. You know what? To be honest, I look at Jonathan Majors differently. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I don't know who these other people are, but you think these people are just randomly lying on his name like that? I don't know, man. I'm of the mindset that, reputations are very important. You know what I mean? Your rep is, in a lot of ways, all you have. For better or worse. And it's not a good look, dude. It's not a good look. So. Oh, you know what? There's actually a couple other things I wanted to say. Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that I got to say. Regardless of what happens, I think they need to make some serious changes to the next phase of Marvel. I do not think you go as heavy with Kang, no matter what. Maybe you keep Kang. Maybe you keep a lot of these plans you have. Maybe you keep the Secret Wars, all that shit. At the end of the day, I think regardless of how this shakes out, you need to change. You need to change it. It can't just be all Kang anymore. It has to change. So that's number one. Number two, you know who caught astray from this entire situation? The Flash. Because as many people brought up over the weekend, it is hypocrisy that we're all still going to go see The Flash after everything that Ezra has done. It is hypocrisy. And to be honest with you, a ton of people brought that shit up this weekend. They're fucking right. They're right. If you're outraged by even the possibility of what Jonathan Majors is doing, how are you not 10 times more outraged for Ezra? I'm not seeing The Flash. I'll never support that movie. I made up my mind this weekend. Motherfuckers are right. about that. And Ezra thought he was like out clean. You know? No, I'm done. It's true. Those people were right. I'm not seeing that shit. I'm not going to support that shit. And it doesn't matter how many stupid fucking bots on Twitter try to tweet me an article that says that he's innocent too. I've got eyes, bro. You know? Holy shit. So that's another one. They caught us strayed there. And now, let's talk about one more big story here, and then we're going to get into the Q&A. Okay? We're going to get into the Q&A. As if all this shit wasn't enough, and it's bad, it's also the case that people in Scotland, well, maybe some of them were moderators on the Marvel Studios spoiler subreddit. I don't know. But they're putting his shit out there too. So I actually did a video about this on Saturday because it's pretty crazy. There's some cool updates about Secret Invasion and whatnot. But Kevin Feige seriously, like, has been really trying to get these leaks out there. And these people in Scotland, man, like, they're just... It's even more, dude. Now we know they're coming back to shoot again on Thursday. You know? Let's see this, man. Let me see if I can find this. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. More footage of him filming in Scotland. It looks like he's, I think it's Secret Invasion. It could be the Marvels and Secret Invasion. Here, I'll bring it up for y'all. But again, this was supposed to be top secret. Like, they didn't even go through normal channels. Like an LLC, a production, all the... They didn't go through normal channels. They were trying so hard. They were trying so hard to keep this shit a secret. And they didn't. Samuel L. Jackson's out shooting more pickups and maybe even full-ass scenes for what I think will be Secret Invasion. Now, my hope, actually, is that there's some really crazy secret stuff that they're putting into this. Like, other Avengers are going to be Skrulls and whatnot, and it'd be so cool to speculate about that and not talk about court cases, blah, blah, blah bullshit. But, yeah, that's as if it wasn't enough, man. You've got the people of Scotland saying, fuck you, Feige, and basically just putting this shit out there. So that's it. That's all I wanted to get into. Let's get into the Q&A. We'll go through the super chats. We'll go through the member chats. I will also go into the chat for a little bit and just try to speak to whatever questions, whatever concerns, whatever stuff that you have going on. Real quick, before we get into Q&A, let me just say, when you're winning, shit like this doesn't happen. And when you're not winning, shit like this becomes the narrative. Marvel's at a very important impasse. They absolutely must get the narrative to be back on speculation and excitement and hype for these different things, which is so counterintuitive to them trying to stop leaks. I literally want to, like, just shake these motherfuckers. They don't. From that, I think it's a big mistake. But here's my point. This happened to Star Wars. This happened to DC. We are on the verge of this becoming what it is to talk about Marvel. So they need to clean this shit up. They need to figure it out. And they need to move on. Very bad. What's happening? Very bad. If that wasn't clear enough. Okay? So, let's get into the Q&A. Oh, and you know what I got to do? I got to go look at what... I've got to go look at what Vito sent in. Give me 1 second here, because we obviously had to restart the stream. Okay, Jesus Christ. So many of these. I'm going to fly through them, okay? Because he's like, I don't know, man. I think Vito sold like a gold-ass piece of cake, you know, at this company. He found like a 24-karat piece of cake and fucking sold it because he's got like $1 bajillion now. Okay, so here's what he said. You're tuned to Dawn FM in the middle of nowhere on your dial, so sit back and unpack. You may be here a while. Now that all future plans have been postponed and it's time to look back on the things you thought you owned, do you remember them well? Were you high or just stoned? And how many grudges did you take to your grave? When you were liked or followed, did you behave? By the way, what song is this? What is this song? Can somebody in chat help me? Who is this? Who is this rapper? Jesus. Stay hard. What the fuck? Off the dissonant chord you were strumming, where your tune of the song you're humming, pain living on, where your bod's long gone, and your phantom regret hasn't let it go yet. You may not have died in the way that you must. All specters are haunted by their own lack of trust. This almost feels like Dr. Seuss. When you're all out of time, there's nothing but space, no hunting, no gathering, no nations, no race, and heaven is closer than those tears on your face. And when the purple rain falls, we're all bathed in its grace. Heaven's for those who let go of regret, and you have to wait here when you're not there yet. But you could be there by the end of the song. The weekend's so good when he plays along. Bang a gong, get on it. If you're a heart heavy, when you step on the scale, you'll be lighter than air when you pull back the veil. Consider the flowers. Don't take a look at the right. They just open their petals and turn to the light. Are you listening real close? Heaven's not that. It's just the depth of this movement. You don't reach for bliss. God knows life in chaos, but he made you want to train your soul to dance. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Goddamn. Vito. Holy shit. Thanks for the love. And for those bars. I know I'm not rapping the bars, okay? I'm sorry. What do you want me to say? Okay? All right. But mad love for Vito, of course. SMB Moosty says, when Kang traverses the multiverse, can he go back in time, or is the same point in time at a different timeline? What the fuck? Is everybody going to rhyme today? That's going to drive me crazy. Follow-up question next. E.g., when they go back in time and return to the present, was all that done in the same timeline? You can change the past. This is a big question, Moosty. It's something that we talk a lot about. We're not sure. I believe it to be the case that most of the time, when you go back in time, you make a new timeline. But the Forever Crystal in the Avengers Forever event actually allows you to change time like 100%. And I think that's what they can do. I don't know if all Kangs can do it, but Kang the Conqueror with that multiversal engine, I think he's actually able to change time legitimately. So, Dap Matt says, Vito typed out $60 worth of messages he wants you to read, but they're in the last stream. Oh, I know. I did. Larold says, you should search for functional medicine doctor for your migraines. Yeah, it's funny. They don't come often. I mean, I guess it kind of depends on what you call often. I get maybe one a month, you know? But when they come on strong, man. It's very tough to deal with. And then I like worked through it to get that video out on Friday. That might have been a mistake. It was pretty tough. Crazy 8, welcome to the Nerd Avengers. You are a Nerd Avenger now. Daimo of the Hangar Bay says, those top-down action sequences in the third act were nuts. Maybe my favorite John Wick next to number 1. Yeah, for sure. You know the thing, dude, the reason it's crushing it, and I think the reason I consider it to be so good, is it is really raising the bar, and it's true spectacle. It's like really, like you gotta go see it in theaters. And that's the vibe. That's the energy that I want. That's what comic book movies are missing. Like, dude, who gives a shit if you watch Quantum Mania on the TV screen or not? Shit was whack. But yeah, I agree with you. It was really, really cool. I think number one's probably the best movie of the bunch, but I love all the John Wick movies. I think they're fantastic, and number 4 was incredible. By the way, guys, apparently, fucking Dungeons and Dragons movie tracking horribly low. That's your fault. I know you guys did this on purpose. I was like, it's going to make $1 billion. And you guys were like, we're not going to see it. And we're going to go sabotage the fucking pre-sales. Yava says, hey, Josh, how's the fam? Fam's good, man. Fam's good. Everything's good on the home front. Juan says, I suffer from migraines. It's always vomit and even sometimes the mud butts. Sorry to hear. Peppermint essential oil, Vicks, and a cold shower. Yep, for sure. The cold shower on Friday got me through the morning of work. But, damn, it was still horrible. Jareth Loveberry with an incredibly generous $100 donation. Holy shit. Says, I won a big qualifying race for the Kentucky Derby. I just want to celebrate it with the best damn community out there. Nerdventure in the Kentucky Derby. Let's fucking go. Let's get some hype in the chat for Jareth. A Nerdvenger is going to be in the Kentucky Derby. Holy shit. Let's go, baby. Man, we should get him like a patch or something. Just like rock it, you know? Do that. That's awesome, bro. Good for you. That's a big W. That's a big super chat, too. Thank you. Juan says, with a 10 spot, says, you think Kevin is thinking of an exit strategy more than ever now? Bro, that's such a good question. And that's like, honestly, bro, that is something that's really been plaguing my mind lately. It's like the more this bullshit keeps happening. I mean, at what point, if you're him, do you just say, fuck it, throw your arms up? Now, he apparently has ambitions to be like in charge of all the Disney filming stuff and really solidify his legacy with Disney. So that's good. Hopefully this shakes out. But I'll tell you, man, all these stories of like, well, I guess it's just generally all the rumblings we've heard. And then the fact that Jeff Snyder said that the big three were beefing. I mean, that shit's not good, dude. Like, that's just not good. And at the end of the day, like, you look at the quality over the past couple of years, it's such a weird thing, too, because Feige kind of elevated those people, too. I remember him bringing all of those people out on stage at one of the San Diego Comic-Cons, and he, like, even made this joke where he's like, they're not much to look at, but they're the real masters behind this whole thing, the cinematic universe. He went to bat for these people and really elevated them. And now it seems like that might not have been the move, right? So it kind of sucks. Terra Metro, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger now. Tiberius Monk, thanks for the 5 spots, says, hello, Sir Josh and the mighty Nerdvengers. Hope you all are doing well. Great content, Josh. Keep it up. Nerdvengers assemble. Hey! Hell yeah, man. Appreciate the love. Thank you very much. Hunting Dude says, hey Josh, 1 month with Prime. Just wanted to say I'm really hoping the Jonathan Majors stuff gets cleared up. I love him as Kang so far. Either way, much love, Nerdvengers. Yeah, I mean, we'll see where it goes from here, man. Strong statements from the lawyer. If that is indeed true, then it will probably shake itself out. I think it's tarnished either way. I think it's just going to hang around, and it's not a good look. We'll see what strategy they do. I mean, I love the performances that Jonathan Majors turns in. I don't know Jonathan Majors. Do you know what I mean? I have my own bias, which really, man, I'm like really... The older I get, the more I'm like really side-eyeing pretty much all of Hollywood. And I understand that's a bias. That comes from places that maybe aren't logic-based. But I really just don't trust and don't like. It seems to me that the personality type of most people that would be attracted to a Hollywood job or to living in that town is not a really great one, man. It's really crazy. Like, Elise and I were literally just talking about this the other night. This was before all the shit happened on Saturday. And we're sitting there and I'm just like, because we were talking about Keanu Reeves. And Keanu... He doesn't have any of this. Like, there's no baggage. If you go to look in the closet of Keanu, you're gonna mostly just find out what a fucking awesome human being he is. And we were talking about how rare that is in a town like Hollywood. And the reality is, it's a lot of people that are narcissists, that are, it doesn't seem chill, man, you know? And I don't know what that means, like, beyond just an observation, but I'm just saying, like, almost nothing surprises me coming out of that town, which is unfortunate. John Parker says, 20 months, let's go. Appreciate y'all almost to that infinity badge. Nerdvengers for life. God bless you and yours. Thank you, John. I really appreciate the love, man. 23 Live says, a new sequel trilogy movie is being filmed right now in Portugal. They covered this on the news. Do you think something about it? 1 more month being a Nerdvenger. I'm already feeling superpowers. My man. Yeah, I've got a huge video coming out about that today. And it's pretty wild. I mean, the whole Star Wars thing is a whole nother thing, dude. And maybe Theory and I will get into it as well. But it's just like... I mean, again, feels like something I've been kind of calling for some time now. Like when you take a bunch of time and then you don't get any production of movies happening, and then all of a sudden at the end of the time that you were taking, panic and rush movies into production, then that's not a proper use of that break. It's ridiculous to assume, even though it's possible, it's ridiculous to assume that this will be any different than the sequel trilogy, which the worst problem in the sequel trilogy was the lack of planning and the rushed out corporate, we need this factory and we need it done Tuesday bullshit. I have like very little faith in what they're going to do and what's going on with the movies. But we'll see. It is, of course, possible that they change it, you know? But, I mean, here's my thing. If you, at this point, if you have confidence in Lucasfilm's ability to make this movie and to make it absolutely incredible, I would just wonder where that confidence is coming from. Like, can you point to something that would give you that? Like, what? Okay, anyways, Chipawee says, say it's true. What then? Do we recast? With who? Yeah, it's a hard one. If it is true, then I would say you do absolutely recast, which Kang as a character is uniquely positioned to be recast anyway. But yeah, I don't really know. I mean, some people were saying John David Washington. Some people even saying John Boyega. I don't really know. I think it's way... That's like a total hypothetical at this point. But yes, I would say they do need to... recast. Kendall says, there's no way around the L. This freaking sucks, man. Even if he is innocent, he ain't innocent anymore. I mean, damn, I just called him trustworthy on stream. Maybe they pivot to Doom faster. Yeah, I think that is a well-said statement. I think it's just a blemish regardless. And at the end of the day, like, I know some people... The thing that really sucks about it, bro, is... And I had all kinds of conversations with people. And by the way, me and Angry Joe, we squashed the beef. We chatted in the DMs. I understand where he's coming from. He understands where I'm coming from. We don't necessarily agree, but we get it. I also, you know, I had a thing with Roberto Blake. I just want to say, like, you know, I respect these individuals. I really do. But the thing that I kept finding as I talked to people is that they're really bringing in their bias and their narrative. And so, like, if you're the type of person that thinks that anytime a man gets successful, he's just going to be undercut by conniving women. If that is the place that you are coming from, you are going to think that of this. It's like, and again, if you're the type of person that thinks power and men in Hollywood are always treating women like horrible property and whatever they can do, you're going to bring that to it. We don't know what the truth is, but I think at this point, it is the reason it is so bad is because it is such a pinned point issue that is so emotional for people. Like, even myself, like, I really, that shit, oh my God. And I don't even want to talk about like why or where that comes from with me. Suffice it to say, I've had experiences that have made it so that when I see or feel or hear that somebody put hands on a woman, holy shit, I'm ready to go. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very hot about that. It's an emotional issue for me. It's an emotional issue for a lot of people. You will never completely quell that. You will never put that genie back in the bottle. It's here now. And it's going to be a cloud and a stink over everything. So it is a horrible situation. It's a massive L. And I mean, maybe they do pivot to Doctor Doom sooner. I honestly don't know why they didn't do that already. The idea of doing a Secret Wars without Doctor Doom is absurd to me. Also, in the comics, just based off of lore and stuff like that, like, Kang is all right. Doctor Doom is that fucking guy. Like, Kang is not that guy. Doctor Doom is that guy. So I don't know. Like, we'll see, man. We'll see. Yeah. Anyway, D Murdoch says Daredevil, Kingpin, and season 2 stuff. Yep, I'm gonna do a whole video on that. I'm actually incredibly excited. It lines up with a lot of stuff we've already been talking about, and yeah, that's what I've been saying. Like, dude, the shit is still gonna get way better. It's gonna be awesome next year. 2024 is gonna be chock full of incredible Marvel stuff. I'm just like worried about where we're at right now with Marvel, right? Guy from King's Highway says the way online people turn abuse claims into conspiracies is so immature. I see people say, I stand with Majors as if they're friends. Let's see the video. Yeah, look, again, I get it, though. I understand where people come from and their biases and everything like that. But at the same time, like, unless you know Majors, the idea, like, you're just narrative. It's called confirmation bias, okay? And it's a very basic psychological human trait where we're such egocentric beings, which is just comes out of evolution. It's kind of just the way it is. But we're such egocentric beings that if we decide something, we're going to look at evidence and fit it in to why we decided that. Because we're so smart, we can't be wrong. You know what I mean? And so that's called confirmation bias. So I get it. I get the bias. But again, I'm not the type of dude that's just going to be like, oh, that's a really good point. I've decided that's reality. No, that's not me. And it's all good if that's you, but that's not me. Big Stevie W says with a 5 spot, we're in a very strange period among nerdy news. DC, Star Wars, and Marvel are all at a crossroads. Also, how high was Veed when he posted that? I'm just going to say probably Veed was at a place that I'm envious of. And it was also hilarious. But yeah, you're absolutely right, Steve. Like, we are at a really weird crossroads with all of these different companies. And I think the measure of the legacy of some of these people is going to be decided now and how they navigate through this space. James Gunn, Kevin Feige, Kathleen Kennedy. It's put up or shut up time. So we shall see. Sozen's comment says, ever thought of trying out for the Master Chef? Because damn, you were cooking today. Majors news sucks, of course, but nuanced takes as usual. R.I.P. Dark and Darker, by the way. Oh my God, that's a whole nother thing with the Dark and Darker thing. I mean, this company is doing a very good job of fighting against these accusations and that reality. We'll see. You know what I mean? Like, we'll see. I would hate for Dark and Darker to not be a thing. You know, that would suck. Josh, you need to watch. Oh, wait, let's get Drake's thing here. It says, do you think they made a mistake trying the timelines of the multiverse instead of just one universe like cosmology and how the real Secret Wars is? I don't think they necessarily made a mistake, but I think they're playing with some stuff that, like, look, if I'm assuming that there's a reason they were drawn to this strategy, I just wish maybe we were let in on the secret, you know? Because I do agree that it's very strange as compared to what you read in actual comics. Like, Kang, for all accounts, should just be the time travel dude, and maybe that should have just been done in the Infinity Saga. Now he's, like, pulling multiversal strings. It's kind of strange. Rav says, Josh, you need to watch Vox Machina. So good. Oh, hell yeah, dude. I've watched both seasons. I love that show. I think they do great work. JJ Lemont with a $10 holla says, took my son to his first con, sat in some panels and everything. It was beautiful to see him have actual jaw drop moments. Can't wait for him to find a community like this one day. Oh, absolutely, man. That's so cool. I get super excited for when Liam will finally get to conventions and stuff and like experience that. It's really fun. It's a really fun experience. Diamond Figs with a 10 spot says, recasting Majors would be so tough. Thinking of the Council of Kang shot from the end scene, could the potential of Majors being axed create a pivot to another big bad, Doctor Doom? Yeah, absolutely. I think that's on the table. I think that's absolutely possible. We'll see, though, because, again, I think the biggest takeaway from this is maybe don't put all of your eggs in a singular actor or actress basket, regardless of the individual. Just maybe don't do that. You know? And if you are going to do that, make sure they're squeaky clean. Like, squeaky clean. You're Disney, for God's sakes. Dymo of the Hangar Base says, if Majors is found undeniably guilty and Feige doesn't recast Kang, where do you stand with Marvel? That would go against virtually every message Disney/Marvel promotes. There's no way that's the outcome. Like, let me just explain. Like, I get the question. You're basically asking, are you going to do a Ezra? Are they going to try to Ezra this? And to be honest, it's completely different because Ezra's gone after this movie. Like, I know James Gunn is trying to act like, I don't know, who, Ezra, who, you know, like this fucking guy. But the reality is, Ezra's gone after this. He definitely not going to be Flash. The whole fucking universe is moving on. So it's totally different. With Majors, this is a person that's going to be a face you're going to see in like every Marvel project. So it's totally different. There is, if the case does not get dropped immediately, and there's some other stuff that comes out, there is no scenario in which you can have this person the face of your entire franchise. There's just no way. So we'll see. And, you know, we're talking about possibilities here. We don't know. It's a developing story. But if that's the outcome, 0% chance they're going to move forward with him, in my opinion. Diamond Fig says, I think the things seemingly going off the rails at the MCU, they would bring back some of the OGs to save things with the fans, Chris Evans, RDJ, etc. I wouldn't mind that at all, bro. I wouldn't mind that at all. And I do think this is such a strange set of circumstances that I think they need to possibly rethink some of the plans and go big and go big fast. Go big fast. So, yeah. That's kind of my take. Okay. Let's hang in the chat for a little bit. I'm sure you guys have some questions, opinions, statements. What's on your mind? What's on your mind? I thought Majors was innocent. It is possible that he is. I think studios have gotten too far concerned in trying to keep things secret. It's actually taken away from their ability to write a good story. The focus is skewed. I absolutely agree with that. Talk about theory. It's Theory's video. It's Theory's announcement. All I will say is that I'm very happy for him. I wish I had some big crazy things so I could take a big break from YouTube. Sorry, I still love you guys. Don't go. Don't leave. But I wish I had some big crazy thing where I could take a little time off YouTube. So, yeah, God bless him. And I'm happy to see how the movie goes, and just go check out his video. We'll talk about it on Nerd Theory. I'm very happy for him. I only have eyes for you, Josh. Oh, okay, thanks. Josh, are you mad at people who still want to see The Flash? No, I'm not mad at people that want to see The Flash. At the end of the day, here's my belief on that. We're here for a very short time. We're all on this big rock, zooming through vacuum of space around this big ball of exploding fire. Every single school of thought, wisdom, and religion cannot even answer the basic questions of why we're here. The world is full of cruel, horrible things. And even when it's not, every second you're alive is one closer to death. And so, in my opinion, if you derive some enjoyment from seeing The Flash, and you're going to go have a little bit of a good time, Bob's your uncle. Go check it out. But for me, I'm just so upset, and I fucking hate Warner Brothers. I'm just making the decision not to. I wouldn't tell you how to spend your money or how to do it. And I'm not going to judge people that go check it out. Again, life is short. So go check it out if you want. The karaoke and the comic book store were popping this weekend. The ups and downs of geeky, nerdy news. Oh, I'm sure. Comic book conversation is probably crazy right now. Bob is not my uncle. Okay, right on. Sorry. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. I'm def gonna see D&D movie Friday. I'm seeing the D&D movie on Thursday. I'm so excited about it, and I really do hope that all of you guys go see it like several times. I need this movie to make $1 billion, or I'm gonna look real silly. So you guys got to go check it out. You know, what is this bullshit? What is this bullshit? Did I see John Wick? Yeah, dude. John Wick was sick. Replace Ezra with Babu. That would be amazing. Will I review the D&D movie on the channel? Yeah, I'll probably talk about it on Friday's stream. Yeah, I know. I hope D&D makes bank too. It deserves it. That's what I'm hearing. People are very hyped on the movie. Did I hear Jeff Love in his interview on Friends from Work podcast? No, I did not. Was there anything of note shared? My horse is named Two Phils. Let's fucking go May 6th. Let's go, Jareth. My man. Josh, my only gripe is that they stole the name of my favorite PS2 game. Honor Among Thieves. Oh, okay. Josh, I need a business mentor and value your takes on things. Can I hit you up offline for help? No pressure. I mean, you can hit me up, man. It's just, I mean, I don't think I'll honestly be able to help you. There's nothing inside my head that's floating around that wasn't said better and years ago. If you seek, you shall find. It doesn't have to be me. There's only one character that can save Star Wars, Daddy Babu. Oh, hell yeah, bro. Let's go. Let's go. The celestial seed is in the meteor that dropped vibranium in Wakanda and Talokan. Interesting. I like that. It's funny. Someone uploaded John Wick 4, the full movie, on YouTube yesterday before it was taken down. You watched it. That's crazy. It's a 3-hour movie. Made the mistake of seeing Cocaine Bear yesterday. Well, I didn't laugh. I don't. Oh, yeah? Is Watchmen Zack Snyder's best comic book movie? I actually do think so. I think it's pretty incredible. Kathleen Kennedy must have some wild contract protections for her to still have a job at Lucasfilm. Yeah, I think it's pretty absurd, man. I think it's pretty absurd. William says, with Tom Cruise's success last year and the superhero fatigue, do you think Mission Impossible 7 becomes one of the highest grossing movies this year? Oh, yeah, I think so. I do think so. Okay, right on, Bismo. I'll check it out for sure, man. Which cut of Watchmen? I like all of them. I think theatrical is great. The extended is great. And then what do they call it? The one that has like the comic and all that shit. It's like 4 or 5 hours or whatever. 300 is also a comic book movie. Yeah, I love 300. I just think Watchmen is on another level. Damon Figs. No, it's Diamond Figs. Says, think the MCU even has a 10-year plan like they did at leading to Endgame? Seems like the biggest issue now is that there doesn't seem to be a through line. Man, here's what it is. No, they definitely have a plan. The problem is there's a bunch of filler. Like, straight up, Feige was working on the stuff that mattered. All of the stuff that's integral to the multiverse stuff was really cared for and was kind of dope. Like Loki, No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness. And everything else was probably given to Victoria Alonso and Luis D'Esposito. So, that's my current theory. My current theory, and it is absolutely just filled with a bunch of copium, is that Feige was off busy planning the actual shit that matters. He delegated, and everything that he delegated fucking sucked. That's my current copium. Is Super Mario Bros. Going to earn $1 billion at the box office? Hell nah. And if it earns more than D&D, I'm going to be mad. Although I guess it makes sense. Young Jedi Adventures. Yeah. I'm not going to check it out. It looks goofy as fuck, bro. Looks goofy as hell. I just want to grab a whiskey with Zack Snyder and shoot the shit. Same. Seems like a really cool dude, man. Super chill. Mario or D&D? Why not both? Why not both? We need to end Zelen Jedi ASAP. I agree with you. I live in Manhattan. There's so many celebs here. I'd never run into someone soon. Yeah, you will for sure. You will. Josh has Kang. Oh, no, thank you. I went as far away from that. Fucking Hollywood is like Mordor, bro. You know what I mean? And I'm good over here. I'm good. If I was Frodo, I probably would have been like, nah, I'm chill. Y'all can figure that out. I'm chill. Josh, the Batman Part 2 will make more than Superman Legacy. True or false? Hard to say. I mean, it's a sequel, so possibly. It had a fairly successful first movie, so possibly. But we'll just see. I mean, there's going to be a lot of buzz on that Superman movie. Whether it's good or bad, I guess, is yet to be determined. But it's a big deal. Baldur's Gate 3, August 2023. Hell yeah, I'm so excited for that. I've been playing the fucking early access. I feel bad because like some of my buddies just recently got it, so I've been playing a little early access with them. But I've been playing that same game for like 3 years. So I'm ready. I'm ready to get out of that area. So yeah, that's gonna be great. Also, I played a ton of Diablo 4 this weekend, and it was so fun. But I picked Druid, and Druid is apparently the weakest, most horrible class, and I watched a bunch of videos, and then I felt stupid because I'm sitting over here struggling as a Druid, and all these other classes are killing it. Diamond Fig says, heard a Kang replacement rumor earlier. James Gunn's wife? Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be shocked. You picked Druid too? Shame on us, huh? Shame on us. I saw Moss talking about Gaga Harley Quinn. Some other people were asking about it. I mean, it looks cool. I can't deny it. It looks cool. I'm going to try to keep an open mind with it. I'm of the mindset that the musical thing is so weird. We'll see. Maybe it'll be really fun and awesome, but we'll see. I did watch that Asmongold video, and it was so depressing. As I was watching, I was just getting fucking depressed, dude. Saw D&D Sunday, early release. It was awesome, but John Wick 4 was better. There's still good movies being made. Nerd Adventures for life. Yeah, for sure, man. And I think a really good, like, blockbuster season for movies can help the comic book movies. Because at this point, comic book movies need to get their shit together, and they can look to examples of, like, what's resonating with audiences, why did it work, and if there is a changing of the taste, they need to be up on that. You know what I mean? Yeah. The blockbuster returning rumor? I have not heard that at all. I don't really know what that's about. Dark and Dark are going to be all right. Check out the Moist Critical video from yesterday. Oh, yeah, for sure. RF, I 100%. Look, I'm with the game. I'm with Charlie on that. But, I mean, Charlie's just basically spreading propaganda. He doesn't make the decision. And he even said in his video, he's like, this is for the public perception. It's a legal case, bro. It's all about the legal precedents. And the judge, look, I just don't know. I don't know if I would get too, like, attached to that. You know? Like, it could literally happen tomorrow that the judge is like, nah, dude, fuck this company. That's literally all it would take. So, I'm hoping the game comes out. I'm hoping the game comes out. Superman and Lois Season 3 is fun so far? Hell yeah, man. That show's great. I haven't watched any of the newest season, though. Maybe I'll check it out. Yeah, Vampa, for sure. The action sequences are incredible in John Wick 4. Incredible. All right, guys. Big video coming out today, all about the Star Wars movies, all that crazy drama. Maybe we'll talk about that tonight on Nerd Theory, while Theory is announcing his retirement as well. Pretty exciting stuff for him, so that's going to be cool. Let's see here what Audidon says. Did you see John Campea said Reed and Sue have been cast for a while, and is John Krasinski and Jodie Comer? Thought on that pair, Nerd Adventures for Life. Did he really say that? That would be wild if true, dude. Some of the best scoopers in the game have denied the shit out of that. So if that's actually true, that would be fascinating. Fascinating. Josh, are you supporting Aquaman 2 after the major stuff? Bro, I was never going to support Aquaman 2. I don't give a fuck about that movie. And apparently it's so bad people are walking out of the theater. So, I'm good. I'm good on that. All right, everybody. Much love to you all. Thank you for being here. I know it's a weird stream. Tried to tackle it the best way that I know how. We'll move on from here. Hopefully, hyped up stuff. Wednesday, we'll probably have a stream just in the morning at the regular time, but we won't talk about Mando spoilers. We'll just talk about the news. Maybe we'll do a little bit of talking about Mando during the stream. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe it'll be a very hyped up episode with some crazy reveals. We'll see how it goes, okay? Appreciate you guys. Tomorrow, 11 a.m., Nerd Avengers stream. I'll see the members there. We'll get into some of the details and some of the tea. And, yeah, we're just going to keep it moving. I appreciate you guys. I'll see the rest of you on Wednesday. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Leave. Do you know what I think is frustrating, ladies and gentlemen? I don't even think I'm good at delivering the news or the information. The sad reality is most of the people that have that job are just simply not interested in actually doing that. And so just someone actually speaking truthfully seems so profound. Sad. Sad. I appreciate you. Got a lot of love for you guys. I'll see you again soon. Open up that third eye. Wash out your stinky butt. I'll see you later.